looking into the next day's lesson, it's about the actual handwriting on the wall and Daniel's interpretation. We don't have time to read it in the chapter there, so we're just going to get to it. The final there was many, many tekel parson, which was interpreted as, you have been weighed in the scales and found wanting. Your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. When you hear that, do we believe that Belshazzar was overthrown because he used the temple articles? Had he not used those temple articles that night, the hand wouldn't have been on the wall, he would not have been overthrown.
No, the army was already there.
Yeah, exactly. The army was already at the gate. That army didn't just blink into existence when he brought the temple articles in. That had to be months and years in preparation and training and supply and march and so forth. No, this was happening. So again, when you understand this army is about to come in, and what's the army going to do when it breaks in to Belshazzar and his family?
Kill them.
Kill them. Does God know this? Does God love wicked old Belshazzar like he loved wicked old Nebuchadnezzar? And so again, we see, God knows, a few hours from now, Belshazzar's toast. And God puts the handwriting on the wall to give Belshazzar one last opportunity to repent.
If there was ever a sign of a loving God, that is. I've never heard it put that way before. But that is a beautiful description of God's love, that he would give him one last chance because God knew the army was ready to overtake him.
And even though if Belshazzar does give his life to the Lord, he has no opportunity to live a life, thief on the cross type example.
Isn't that something?
Okay? But this is the God that we serve. He gives us every opportunity.
The Bible calls it God's strange act.
Calls what God's strange act?
Letting people go.
Letting happen to let people go.
Okay.
It's a strange act to him. He hates to have to let go of his children.
That's correct. Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to clarify what we were referring to. What do we think about the idea that judgment happened that night? Because the lesson points out he was judged and punished. That's the lesson points out. Well, for those that were at their event last weekend, do we remember there are 4 judgments, not 1 judgment? There are 4 judgments. Which judgment was happening here? So the first judgment is our judgment of God. Paul says in Romans 2:4, God, may you be proved right when you are judged. Or at Mount Carmel, the situation of Mount Carmel, Elijah turned to the people and said, make a judgment. If God is like Baal, worship him. If God is Yahweh, worship him. The first judgment, because God has been lied about, because we believe lies about God, because God loves us and wants to win us back to trust in him, he reveals truth to us and asks us to choose. Make a judgment. Do you see who I really am as Jesus revealed? Or do you hold to the lies that Satan's told about me? Judge me. Love me. Trust me. That's the first judgment. Second judgment is God's judgment, or you might prefer the word diagnosis of our actual condition, and God's judgment of what is most therapeutic to give us the greatest opportunity to partake of his healing remedy. And this is what you find happening through the entire Bible. God is judging the circumstances, the sickness, the depth of the depravity, the depth of the necrosis of hearts and the circumstances. And he's making therapeutic judgments and interventions of what actions are going to be best to keep open avenue for Messiah and to bring people the opportunity for healing of their hearts. In this particular case, he judged Belshazzar. He doesn't know me. He's still self-centered. He's still hard-hearted. He judged that this is the final thing I can do to give him pause. And it worked in a certain way. The orgy stopped. There was pursuit of truth. What does it mean? There was recognition of what was said, and that gave opportunity for him to make a choice, didn't it? So God's judgment of our condition, I also see this as the investigative judgment, where in heaven Christ is evaluating or judging those who have given their heart to him, open their heart, give them access, and what aspects of our hearts he needs to fix. What residual issues he needs to remove, and how does he need to heal the inner person? He's investigating and cleansing all those who trust him. Third judgment, angels. We judge angels during the 1,000 years. No, don't you know that you will judge angels? You know, Paul talks about this. We will sit in judgment, and we will be evaluating and judging or drawing conclusions about why the angels did what they did. And then the great white throne judgment at the end of the 1,000 years. I wish we had time to go into Friday's lesson because it was very interesting. In fact, I think we have to. We have to go into Friday's lesson. It's about the history of the nations.